Put the chicken into the frying pan with 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Yeah, something tells me that's not right. Lesson learned, even though it's written in that order, put the oil in first, then the chicken. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Dear Jamie. This is the YouTube cooking show where I work my way through Jamie Oliver's 15-minute cookbook from cover to cover. On today's episode, we're doing recipe number 3 in the book, spicy Cajun chicken with smashed sweet potato and a fresh corn salsa. As always, this is going to be my first time tackling this recipe. What you see is what I make is what I eat. So, without wasting any more time, let's check out our ingredients. For the salsa, we'll need 4 corn cobs, husks already removed, 1 small bunch of cilantro, 1 fresh red chili, 4 scallions or green onions here in the colonies, 3 ripe tomatoes, 2 limes. Jamie loves his limes. And don't worry, they're limes, they're not lemons or any mix up like that. I actually have limes. 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. For the sweet potato smash, we'll need 1.5 pounds of sweet potato and 2 tablespoons of sweet red chili sauce. For our chicken, 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts, 1 tablespoon of Cajun seasoning, 1 tablespoon of ground cornmeal, and olive oil. We're gonna need 2 rashers of bacon. For us non-Brits, 1 rasher based off of what I could find online is about 3 pieces of bacon. So 2 rashers of bacon is 6 thin slices of bacon. We're going to need 6 ounces of okra, which was a lot of fun to try and find. The recipe also calls for feta cheese that you would crumble on top, but I forgot the feta. Sorry. All right, so that's our ingredients. Before we begin, Jamie does specify some things that we need to have ready. Those are a kettle boiled, check. Our grill pan, check. A frying pan, a large saucepan. We also need our food processor, which I got right over here as well, for our sweet potato. Okay, now that all the housekeeping is complete, it's time to cook. First off, we're gonna put our corn on the grill and turn when it's charred. Next, we'll wash the sweet potato, remove all the gnarly bits of skin with a vegetable peeler, then finally slice it in our food processor. Once that's done, we'll put our sweet potato into our saucepan and then cover that with boiling salted water and the lid. Let's just check out this corn on the cob, eh? Once we have the sweet potato into the saucepan, we will take out a large parchment paper and toss the chicken with salt, Cajun seasoning, and cornmeal. Once that's completed, we're going to fold the paper over and bash and flatten it until it's about 3/4 of an inch thick. Again, only the second time I'm doing this since the last episode. I don't have a tape measure on me, so I'm going to assume that is 3/4 of an inch. Now we'll put the chicken onto the frying pan with 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Lesson learned, even though it's written in that order, put the oil in first, then the chicken. We'll cook that for 3 to 4 minutes until golden brown and cooked through. Okay, now that the chicken is in the frying pan, we will check our sweet potatoes. So one thing that's actually slowing me down a bit is I don't have enough burners for everything, so my sweet potatoes are probably on a burner that's a bit too small for it. So I think that's what's taking them a bit longer to get cooked, but they're almost done. So the corn is getting charred. I'm not sure how charred it should be or what's the difference between charred and burnt, but I think we're getting pretty close, so I'm probably just going to take it off the heat. Our sweet potatoes, if they're ready to go, then we'll drain our cooked sweet potatoes well, return them to the pan, and mash with our sweet chili sauce. Obviously it was undercooked in my rush, so I just whipped out the food processor to get this mashed up. I even added some butter and milk, obviously, just to try and help process. It was really not working at all, and I let it sit for a long time. I don't know. I hope that's not cheating. Anyway, back to it. We'll pop the lid and keep on a very low heat. Now that that's done, we're going to slice up our bacon and add it to our frying pan. As bacon begins to crisp, we'll add the okra. Now that we're through that and the bacon is crisping, we can do our corn. Carefully hold your charred corn steady and run a knife down the sides to cut off the kernels. And then put it into a bowl. We'll then roughly chop the leafy part of our cilantro and add to the corn. After that, we will finely slice our chili and trim the scallions, chop the tomatoes, and add all that to a bowl with a pinch of salt and lime juice and extra virgin olive oil. We'll then mix that really well. So I just completed the salsa. Hard to wonder why I had to do it like this. I know it's in the cookbook, but I feel like I already had the food processor out. I probably could have just done this all in that and probably gotten a much better consistency for salsa, but anyway, that's what it is. It's sort of like a chunky salsa. Smells good though. All right, so our chicken is done, the salsa is done, the potatoes are done. It took a lot longer than expected, probably about 30 minutes, but it does smell good and look really good. So that only leaves one thing left to do, and that's to plate it and taste it. All right, there you have it. We've made it. It looks great. That leaves only one thing left to do. That's to try it out. So here goes. Get some of the chicken. Let's get some of this sweet potato smash in here. That's tasty. Let's try a piece here with our salsa on it. Try this out. That's pretty good. That's pretty tasty. Actually, I believe this is probably my favorite one so far from 15-minute meals. It's gonna make for a great lunch, and I got plenty of leftovers too. It did take a while. There was a lot of steps involved. Honestly, if I do this again, I would probably use the food processor a lot more, just to speed up the process. I know it's only supposed to take 15-minute meals, but for an average Joe like myself, it did take a bit longer than that. Thanks again for joining me on Dear Jamie. I really like how my spicy Cajun chicken, smashed sweet potato, and corn salsa turned out. If you have any tips or tricks on how to make this a little faster and easier, I'd also love to hear about that. You can do so by telling me in the comments down below. If you haven't already and you've watched this far, please like and subscribe. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So until next time, see you later. Whew.